Though state police recommend people stay home, should you need to travel for an essential trip and come in contact with law enforcement, do not be alarmed if they are wearing gloves or mask. Law officials have been wearing PPE or personal protective equipment to stop the spread to themselves or others.
Before the investigating, the scandals, and the threats, Charlie Speck began his journalism career right here at St. Bonaventure University and in this very studio. The partnership between St. Bonaventure University and the Cattaraugus County Health Department is part of the reason that the COVID-19 numbers here on campus remain so low. However, when it comes to communication, Dr. Kevin Watkins says that rests solely with administration. Within your vehicle could be up to over 700 different types of bacteria. That's 9 times more than the average toilet seat. One of the main hotspots for this bacteria to lurk is the steering wheel. Only 3 weeks into fundraising and the rest of November to go, this team behind me has already surpassed their goal of $15,000. This puts them #1 out of the 124 teams participating in Lax Dash Madness. Though their home was destroyed, the Voles family is relying on their optimism and support from their community to get through this difficult time. As you can see from the crowd behind me, people have been showing up all week, dedicating their time to help out the family in any way that they can. One of the Voles' family friend, Larry Grigsby, has been with the family every day since the explosion.
Like yesterday, we were going through the house. We were picking up their clothes and personal belongings and bins, and we've been hauling them down to Ray's and put them in his garage and just picking up. My wife's going to do some laundry for them, just whatever they need.
The family said that people have been bringing them food, clothing, and offering a helping hand wherever they can. Betty told me that one thing she really hoped they would find was a large sign with the word blessed written on it. When they found the sign, it was no longer usable. However, she said that with a community like this one, she does not need a sign to remind her how blessed she is.
The community outreach has just been phenomenal. Just this road alone, starting there, we had neighbors here until 7, 8 o'clock when the lights went out, doing anything they could. 30, 40 people stopping, just asking, what can we do, what can we bring? The outreach that'll set you back. It gets at your heartstrings to know the community does care that much.
Michaela Hyman, SBU TV, New, Now, Next.
First of all, we can't believe it's been a year. Yeah. It just has flown by. But I don't even know how to explain it. We just rolled from this one life into another one.
For 36 years, 8 months, and 10 days, the Voles family lived in their West Branch home. Days after the explosion, Betty, Ronald, and Hemi moved into their current residence in the village of Allegheny. However, for the entire Voles family, a heavy heart remains for all that was lost that day.
She'll never go home again. You know, we'll always have a new home, and they always have a place to come, but she's never coming home again.
I'm standing here in what would have been the Voles' home exactly 1 year later from the explosion. I spoke with Betty and Ronald, who explained to me there's currently an active investigation going on in what caused the explosion. They explained to me what they hope to get out of this investigation.
And if we don't do nothing and it happens again and somebody gets killed, I'm gonna feel like I'm at fault for not pushing the issue.
The New York State Department of Environmental Conservation currently investigating the oil wells around the Voles property. Ronald informed me these investigations could take up to 3 years.
I'm serious, there's not a night that goes by when I say my prayers, I don't think about the place. You know, how lucky we were, first of all, and, you know, just find what happened, and maybe we can save a life.
Throughout the past year, the Voles said they remain blessed and grateful for all that they have and that no one was hurt that day.
The biggest takeaway for me, and I know it sounds cliche, but God provides. If I had to sum it up, God provides.
For SBU TV, I'm Michaela Hyman.
We do respond to everything. We have to go to work. We have to do our jobs in order to maintain, public stability and to make sure that people obviously get the service that they need in a crucial time or in a moment in their life that they really need law enforcement, regardless of a virus.
More than 30 New York State troopers test positive for COVID-19. 80 currently in precautionary quarantine for showing symptoms. Trooper James O'Callahan explains how state police try to stay safe during this pandemic.
Your personal protective equipment, PPE is what we call it, and that's gloves, masks, things like that. If we ever have to go into a scene where we think that we're in jeopardy of any contamination, we'll always glove up.
As the severity of the pandemic increases, People have been leery to call 911 in fear of spreading the virus, said O'Callahan.
We're still answering 911 calls. We're still answering non-emergency calls. And these are things, we just might handle them a little bit different than we typically would.
Though state police recommend people stay home, should you need to travel for an essential trip and come in contact with law enforcement, do not be alarmed if they are wearing gloves or mask. Law officials have been wearing PPE or personal protective equipment to stop the spread to themselves or others. O'Callahan confirms increasing domestic disturbance and domestic violence calls within New York State. He encourages patience during this time.
We're in this for another at least 2 weeks, maybe even a month. So it's one of those things where you have to pack your patience and really, come together as a family and work things out.
For SBU TV, I'm Michaela Hyman, new